Howdy, guys and gals. It's Sunday night, and welcome to the APAT show. Leigh, tonight, I have to say, we've got one of my all-time favorite guests on. Tell us who it is, please.
Well, the man needs no introduction whatsoever from me. I think possibly is now he's probably top of the appearance charts with the APAT
Top
show,
of everything.
Yeah.
He's top of everything at the moment.
More
Leigh.
importantly than that, I was going to say he's currently chip leader in the main event, so we need to get right cracking on there. So good evening, Pete Wigglesworth. How are you doing, my friend?
Hi guys, yeah, pretty good.
There he is. There he is. Good to have you on again, Pete. How is life?
Yeah, it's been an interesting week. So yeah, work's been pretty hard. Been doing very long hours at work, but I've found time to play poker and play the APAT stuff every day of the week, luckily. So I've been lucky in that respect.
Proper order. Get your priorities right, Pete. Get your priorities right, my
Yeah.
friend. Well, listen, Leigh, Pete's going to be a bit central to your telling us what's happening tonight and how we're getting on in the weekly leaderboards. Over to you, sir.
Well, exactly. So, I mean, I'm going to start we're not even going to hang around here. We'll get Pete's table up on the screen so we can see what's going on there. They're currently in the main event down to 10 players. So they're currently on kind of hand for hand for the final table. But let's just quickly roll back to kind of before 5 o'clock today when we got into the final 4 events for the week. Mr. Wigglesworth is top of the leaderboard, Des. He's already cashed 6 times this week. When he says he's played every day this week, he's had a proper good run. Closely followed by Aaron, I think, who's had about 4 or 5 cashes as well this week. So absolutely firing on all cylinders. But the deep stack, that concluded with 43 runners. And I'll tell you what, Des, if you want a winner, if your name's Vinicius Fortuna from Brazil, brilliant. You know you're going to win some poker in your life, don't you?
Let's do it. Let's do it. We've got victory and fortune. Should we just go straight to victory, fortune?
It doesn't get any better than that, does it? So he picked up $177 in the deep stack, beat Pascal Iversen from Austria into second place. Pontus Dahlgren from Sweden also cashed in that, and our very own Tony G also snuck in with a min cash in that one. Already mentioned the No Limit Hold'em main event, 67 runners in that tonight. So they're playing for a top prize of $746. So and obviously we've got a bit of a run good with our guests at the moment, haven't we here? So we're looking quite positive. There's 10 of those left at the moment. The cash was going out to the 11, so we've already lost Carlos Schott from Chile in 11th place. So the guys, as I said, are playing hand for hand at the moment. You can see Pete stack there top right of your screen. He's got 790,000 at the moment. Chip leader by about 360,000 in total. Paul Allen, Tim Green's there. Howard Wicks is still going in that one. Petr Sladek as well from the Czech Republic, who regularly plays with APAT. So they're going well. PLO, a little bit quiet on the numbers tonight, just 24 runners in that. So it's going to be a little bit of overlace of value for some players in there. We're only paying top 4, but we do have a couple of well-known APATers in that final 5 at the moment. Paul Haycock is 3rd of 5. Gordon MacArthur was 4th of 5. He's now 5th of 5. But also Maximilian Schneider as well from Germany, who's another regular player with APAT, is in that one. And then finally, the Turbo Knockout starts at 9 o'clock. 43 runners in that tonight. We're paying out a top 7 in that one. So Gordon, I can see Gordon's still in that as well. So we'll keep an eye on that one as it goes. So, but obviously, main focus at the moment is with our chip leader, Pete, in this No Limit. How's the tournament gone for you, Pete? Has it been steady, or have you had a couple of sort of serious double ups and things like that?
I had one hand in particular. I sent it to Paul because he was sending me hands for the PLO, and he paid me off with quads on the PLO, which was nice of him with his flush. But I had aces, and I min-clicked it 'cause I want somebody to play back at me, and this guy kindly obliged and put it in with ace 4 of spades, and the flop came a 4 and 2 spades. So, but luckily I held, so that was quite fortunate in a way. So yeah, I've been running pretty good.
It would take a bit of fortune. You need a bit of fortune to do well in this game. Listen, Leigh, I can't believe we're under on the PLO numbers. I mean, if it was a summer night, I'd get it. But actually, what the hell has happened to the country over the last couple of days? It's just got bloody wet. Where's that
Yeah.
come from?
Yeah, it's we've got a bit of that rain stuff. Not seen that for a long time. It's been
It's been a while.
very,
It's been a while.
strange indeed.
Yeah,
Listen, Leigh.
threatened sunshine, and then suddenly it's been raining, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not nice. Give me back a bit of sunshine, please. Not too much, obviously, because I'm Irish, right? Not too much sunshine.
Yeah.
Just enough to top up my pail, right? That's all I need. Definitely don't like the rain, though, I have to say. Listen, there's a bunch of the guys and gals out there. So, if you want to shout out, guys, say hello in the chat box. You want to ask a question of Peter, Leigh, or I, just get it in the box. Simon is there. The Oracle says, good evening back to you, Simon. Barry Cullen's there as well. Evening, guys. Evening back to you, Barry. Other than that, they're all very quietly. They're all very shy.
Simon must be, in a happy place at the moment. Although, again, it's the football results have been sort of over the place, haven't they? But obviously, Forest, it would have been a really, really good result. It ended up still a good one with Sheffield United getting a late goal back. But what do you think, Simon? You confident of making it through now to the playoff final? And if so, have you got a preference whether you play Huddersfield or Luton? They drew 1-1, I think, in the first leg of their semi-final. Huddersfield at home in the second leg, so you kind of think Huddersfield are probably favourites to go through. But any preference? Let us know. What your thoughts are. I'd love to see Forest get promoted.
Well, listen, the Oracle is out there. He's saying, "Don't tempt fate." Right. So he fed all of the data into his computer. Computer said, "Don't tempt fate." I get that. I think that one's probably going to go quite late in leg 2. Leigh, I don't think it's over yet.
No.
But would be lovely to see Forest back in the Premier League for sure. Simon also says, been sunny and Notts all weekend. Well, I think he's just, he's coming from a very sunny disposition, given the outlook in the football. One Tom Fielding is out there as well and says, good evening. Good evening to you, Tom. Tom, of course, who has walked a lot of miles for good causes, like our old mate, Ben Walton, right, who we had on some weeks ago. Tom's also done a lot of walking and done a lot of good stuff in Africa.
We've got a bit
so
of
on and so
action in
forth.
this Hold'em.
What's happening here?
You can see Ace Queen versus the Kings, and the Kings have held. On the other table, there was Ace Jack versus Jack 10 on a Jack flop. Of course, those chips went in, so we're going to lose 2 in very, very quick succession here. So I'll quickly get the final table up because we are going to be a way to go on this, and we're already down to 8. That's happened pretty pronto. So
wow. Okay, and
so there you go. Pete is still chip leader going into this. So let's do a quick rundown of who we've got the final 8. Now these guys are all guaranteed just shy of $100 so far. So Mr. Wigglesworth, chip leader 755. Stanislav Bok from the Czech Republic with 686. His compatriot Petr Sladek with 450,000. Then Howard Wicks from the UK with 410,000. Then you've got Sissio from Brazil with just over 400,000. Andre from the Ukraine for 240,000. Paul Allen with 232, and Tim Green making up the final 8. Of course, the entire world wants the Ukrainian to win. I mean, that's how it works these days, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, did you see that?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Incredible last night. That was.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Really,
I watched that last night. I do like to watch the Eurovision, I have to say, but it's mostly it's mostly with the brief of having a laugh at it. But actually, I thought a lot of the music last night was actually pretty good. And I thought the British entry was particularly good. And a little unfortunate, one might say, not to take the honours. Listen, Leigh, we're going to go on and talk about the Eurovision. But in terms of just linking with taking the honours, one Jer Jr. has joined us and says, good evening. Evening to you, Jer, sir. Hope you're well. Liverpool, of course. Jer's a Liverpool fan like myself. We also took the honours yesterday, along with the Ukrainian. Leigh, did you see that, Peter? Leigh looked up to the sky for a brief moment there. Some sort of respite. I've only mentioned it once. Of course, the night is still young. Liverpool now double winners, albeit
Liverpool and Chelsea played out both domestic cup finals, 0-0, drab affairs.
They were cagey. They were cagey football. I mean, there was plenty of chances.
I mean, do you remember when the cup final was something that you used to look forward to, and it would be, it didn't matter who the two teams were. It would be entertainment, and it would be a bit. And they managed to turn it into just some shocking 120 minutes.
I'll tell you, shocking finishing from both of them.
It was
to the point.
Well, I saw some comment on one of the tabs, which was, if this goes to penalties, it could be 0-0 when the keepers step up. That was the suggestion.
It wasn't that bad. I actually thought it was pretty decent football. I have to say.
You picked up a couple of potential injuries in that.
We're not entirely sure. We've got 3 to worry about now. Mo obviously went off quite early. Verge went off, in the second. And I think the feeling on both of them is they're okay, but we're certainly not going to risk them on Tuesday night. They might not turn up against Leeds, but they'll probably both be ready for Paris.
I was devastated when Mo went off. Absolutely devastated.
How much did you have resting on him? Because frankly, that was a bad bet anyway.
He was the third one in the Sky boosted goal scoring treble, and the other 2 had already come in at that point. So it is 18-1. So Lewandowski was one, and the other one was the Forest striker Johnson. So they both scored. So you're 18-1 coming into the cup final. So I would imagine Sky were quite happy to see him substituted after 30 odd minutes, because that would have saved them a small fortune, I'd imagine, because a lot of people tend to lump on those ones. So
yeah, no, I tend to agree with you there, but Mo hasn't shown form for many a month.
Well, as Jay says, I'm surprised the posts were still standing. They were hit that much.
It's a good point. They were hit with some pace as well, it has to be said.
Yeah, very true.
But let's go back to the Eurovision, right? I want to talk about that for a while. We'll come back to football later. Did you see it, Peter, at all? Did you see any of the Eurovision last night?
No, I will be able to comment on football because I watched most of that.
Well, we'll make it very short on the Eurovision there.
I know the result and the fact that the UK, England came in second, didn't they?
Yeah,
very much the UK.
They did. Yeah, and it was a decent little number. I mean, it probably wouldn't do well in the charts, but it was a decent little effort. The funniest part of the night for me was that our youngster 9, he picked Moldova as his song, and it was absolutely what can only be described as a typical Eurovision song. It was absolutely nuts, and it was doing terribly. It was like 3 or 4 from the bottom. And then the people vote happened, and when we reached it, the countries ahead of it had been getting like 5 votes and 10 votes, and it got like about 250 votes.
Did it not get the second highest?
It was just
vote?
crazy. My 9-year-old, he just leapt off the couch at midnight, go, "Yes, I told you so!" And that Brilliant. For me just signified the madness of Eurovision and why we watch it occasionally.
Yeah, it was. I think it was inevitable. I think the bookies had already said that, pretty much Ukraine were nailed on. Even though I think they did kind of drift a little bit when some of the jury votes came in, and they started thinking, well, maybe they won't. Are people going to go for this? But when the public vote came in, they just got like
landslide,
double anybody
landslide.
Else. It was ridiculous.
It was. So we're all looking forward to. We're all looking forward to going over to Mariupol. Apparently, is where the Eurovision is going to be held next year for the first time on Zoom, as I understand it. Everybody's going to be on Zoom.
Be interested to see what happens. Who knows where we're going to be in a year's time with the Ukraine situation. But love them to be able to host it in a year's time. I guess if nothing much has changed with Russia's intentions, then that's probably not going to be a possibility. But we will see what happens.
Listen, slightly sidestepping Eurovision now. On the football side, Ger Junior, they walked off, which is good. So we're talking about Verge and Salah. No point risking Mo when we have cover, and Virgil was late in the game, but basically happy to see them both walking off. I think that's the summary there. Simon says, did any of you watch Match of the Day Rewind before the cup final? Leeds Chelsea replay from 1970. Incredibly violent match. As it happens, I did happen to see that. And yes, it was pretty bloody violent. But to be honest, I think there were a lot of examples of Leeds and Chelsea games from the 70s that were badly vicious. I'm sure I've seen worse than that one. Do you remember that, Pete?
I'm assuming Thiago probably was watching that before he did his little two-footed lunge.
There was nothing in that, Lee. That was no more than a mere graze.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently the Leeds team at the moment is the dirtiest team ever, according
Really?
to the booking points and the sending off points.
Oh dear.
Well,
They don't look it,
I
though,
think
I have to
Everton had a
say.
good go this afternoon at trying to catch them up, I think.
Yeah, they had 2 players sent off.
So I didn't see that game.
It was only 2, I think, really. It was.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see that, but there was a huge amount of excitement before the game with, the blue half of Merseyside covered in blue sort of plumes of smoke or whatever. Seemed to be a lot of atmosphere there. Everton were leading in the game. Have they self-destructed there?
Yeah, pretty much. They went 1 up, then had a player silly sending off, and then then sort of got back get into it. It was just really weird. I don't quite know what they were thinking about. And I mean, the second sending off was Rondon, who came on as a sub to chasing the game, and I don't know what I was thinking of, but Richarlison's got a red card in him.
He's got a mean streak.
Well. He's another one.
Absolutely. Yeah. Nut job.
Can't
They've got a few of them there.
And the trouble is I think they were already short of players anyway, and they've got 2 more games to play now, is it 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got
Do
2.
we know?
You've got 1, haven't you, Pete? Leeds, yeah? You just got 1 to go, yeah?
Sorry, what's that?
Leeds have got 1 game to go, and then Everton.
Yeah, we got Brentford.
And Burnley have got 2, haven't they?
Brentford away on Sunday.
Yeah.
Everton are at home to Palace midweek, and they are away at Arsenal on the last day of the season. I tell you what, I'd hate to be going to Arsenal needing a point.
They won't get anything from Arsenal.
I don't think they will. They won't find Crystal Palace
I was going to say Crystal
either.
Palace could be tough, and the fact is, if Burnley can find a win from somewhere, it really is going to go down to the last game. Well, I think it'll go down to the last game of the season anyway, as I think the top of the table will now as well. I think they're both inevitably going to be that.
Yeah, so Burnley away to Villa, at home to Newcastle. I mean, I'd fancy Burnley if they needed 3 points on the last day of the season. I would fancy them to take it off of Newcastle. I mean, Newcastle's semi-decent side, don't get me wrong, but if you're fighting for your survival, I think that Burnley team has played reasonably well over the last few weeks.
Yeah, and bear in mind they've got serious injuries. I mean, me and Tarkovsky are out at the back, so they're playing. They're playing really kind of second string defensive line, and have held their own in a number of the games. I know Villa did them by 3, but and I thought the Tottenham game today they were very, very unlucky, because actually the penalty that he's given for handball.
Yeah, a lot of people said the penalty was a bit suspect.
It's very suspect. I mean, you've got to ask questions how that's been given. And other than that, they certainly gave Tottenham a go in the second half, but just couldn't get a goal. Hit the post and everything. But probably deserved a point out of it. I don't think they did enough to beat Spurs, but they certainly didn't deserve to lose.
Well, Junior is saying there that Everton are the beneficiaries of both Burnley and Leeds, just being in such poor form. I don't know if it's poor form, but certainly they're not getting the results that are required.
Well, if Everton hadn't have got that little couple of wins together, they really would be. I mean, crikey! I mean, we've gifted them points this. United have gifted.
Yeah, they're only 1 point ahead of Leeds.
Yeah, I mean, they really could have been done and dusted if they'd not actually somehow found a couple of those wins out of nowhere.
Listen, talking about United, Lee, this would have to be seen as maybe one of the best weeks of your campaign. Would you agree?
Yeah, no, we've had a really good weekend. It's been absolutely superb. I must admit, I've probably enjoyed watching United this weekend more than I have done all season.
Sort of matched your midweek sort of result. I thought.
Yeah, that was good. I think I think the way it's worked out now, the performance at the weekend by the boys has meant I think we're guaranteed European football now for next season, which is fantastic. That's something to look forward to, and obviously. It's all down to like all the big clubs, really. It's down to the final day of the season for everybody fighting for whether we play in the Europa League or the Conference League.
So you're 2 points ahead of the mighty West Ham.
Yeah, West Ham,
who I shall forever bow down to.
Yeah, we're basically it's in our. Let's be serious here. It's in our own hands. I mean, we're in control of our own destiny here.
Who are you at home to?
If we win. A Palace we've got. If we win, then it's done. Then Europa League is ours. It's in the bag. Nobody can take that away from us. not a problem at all. However, if we draw and West Ham win, then yeah, it's sort of, I mean, it's exciting. I mean,
It's Friday night football, is it?
Well, I'm assuming, obviously Sky have got this. There's the City Liverpool thing at the top, and obviously the relegation stuff at the bottom. But I'm assuming Sky are going to do the kind of the dual, thing of the West Ham and Man United game. I presume on Sunday, because that's really the crunch.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that will get the bandwidth that you're expecting there.
Do you not think so?
But, well, even those big TVs can only show about 8 matches, so I'm really not sure the United game is going to qualify.
No, I don't think it will. To be honest, whoever's playing in kind of mid-table where they're vying for literally one place will be more exciting than watching United.
Forget that.
Definitely.
That'll be on Match of the Day too.
Yeah, we have very quickly got down to 5 players here. With Pete very much still chip leader, now up to 1.1 million. So the guys are all now guaranteed $166.70 of your finest cents. So it's all looking good. Looking comfortable, Pete? Happy?
Yeah, I flopped a set against the guy who had top pair, so that kind of helped. Oh, I know, actually, I think he had up and down. But yeah, it paired up, so that was no sweat. And then one of my friends, Paul Allen, just went out. He's I don't know whether you've played up at Dusk Till Dawn with a guy called, his name's Sheldon. But yeah, he's a really good guy and plays a lot online. So he started playing the APAT stuff as well.
Nice.
Well, you are now last Brit standing, because we've in 6th, 7th, and 8th we've lost Paul, Howard, and Tim, all the other UK players. So it is just Pete flying the flag for UK, which I'm guessing this looks about the right sort of position as Eurovision was last night. So
I was going to say the Ukraine, everyone's going to be cheering the Ukrainian guy on.
Ukraine to about to absolutely triple up
trying to put pressure on him.
Occasions. It's all about to go wrong, and you're going to be sat glum, having to console yourself with second place prize money.
Wow.
That's what's coming.
Well, I got a min race through, so that was good.
Yeah, good lad. He knows what he's doing, Lee. I'm confident he knows what he's doing.
It's not
all
his
of
first
these
rodeo, is it, Des?
Yeah, listen, all of these guests who've come on here over the years, sort of blaming the APAT show curse, right? They just haven't, had that ability to get over the line when the pressure is on. Pete knows how to do that. I'm confident.
I'm keeping an eye on the Omaha as well, because we're still 5-handed in that, and it's paying top 4. So they're on the money bubble at the moment, although it is the final table as well. Gordon is still 5 of 5. Paul is 3 of 5, and Maximilian is now chip leader in that one. So
listen, Eddie says good evening. Simon Lawler says if he brings out the tractor, worry. I think he's talking about our friend from Ukraine. Simon Allen is there. Evening, guys. If I'd known a show performance guaranteed run good, I'd have made more of an effort. It doesn't normally guarantee run good, I have to say. It normally is quite the opposite.
Simon, we are just, obviously, this is just the warm up to when we get Simon Allen on the. What we need to do is actually we need to book Jen Mason, and then Jen can cancel last minute, and Simon can step in and fill the void
and take the goodies, take the tin.
That's what we need to do.
Quite right.
I saw Jen the other day down in Brighton. I played the Sky Poker tournament. And she came along, and Neil Channing was there, and obviously TK. And I didn't realise, I forgot she worked for Black Belt, didn't she, years ago?
Oh, she did, yeah.
So it was like an old reunion. It's great.
I saw
Lovely
Jen
to see.
And I think
Dana
were both they were both updating over at the Irish Open. I think they were doing some work over there. I think
I saw
a few
that
weeks ago. It was nice to see the kind of the team, the gang back together doing live updates and stuff. It's always got a bit more of a vibe about it when.
Do you remember the blonde poker days back in the early noughties? Absolutely fantastic. The blonde poker live updates. We missed those.
What's gone on with updates? What's your view on it, Pete? There seems to be tournaments these days that there's a big kind of like fanfare about them and play them, and then when you go and have a look about them on when they're actually on, there's no updates, there's no live stream, there's no. Sometimes you even struggle to get a result or find out anything about these tournaments. They just seem to then just kind of disappear off into the ether, and you never see them.
Yeah, it's really weird because I'm in cash. Well, I laddered up a couple of places in the Sky Poker thing, and it's not appeared on the Hendon Mob at all. And I've been on the Sky website, and it was even detail on there who won the tournament or whatever. And
oh, really?
Yeah, wow. I just find it really, really strange that they'd invest that much time and money into a tournament and then just not kind of promote it afterwards and promote the next one in Scotland.
But they're not the only ones that are doing it. Say you see quite a lot of it now, whereby they can be hundreds of thousands guaranteed, and even more than that, and you go and try and find out what's going on, and there's very, very little. It's as if, I don't know, maybe it's a cost that they don't feel is needed unless they're doing, or unless you're doing the kind of the really fancy live stream stuff which people like to watch. Nice to see that Grosvenor still do, obviously, the Tower and Jay, they're in Edinburgh this weekend, aren't they? And it's nice to see so they still put a live stream on for their events, so you can find out what's happening. But yeah, it's really weird, and no one's ever come up with anything to kind of be a portal for it, or a kind of a place where people can go and get this information, other than the Hendon mob. But that's not always live, is it? That's just an afterwards thing.
Oh, we could do it, Lee. I tell you, we could do it.
We probably could. We could send Pete out as a roving reporter.
I think we could send Pete out. We could send Jen Mason out. Now, here's the thing: we wouldn't have to send Jen, because obviously she's really super experienced, very expensive, of course. We'd send Simon Allen instead, who admits that he's always a willing and slightly disappointing stand-in for Jen. So you'd get pictures slightly off-center, a little bit of grammatical sort of errors in the text, a few too many A and other wins sort of thing, a few badly reported hands, but he'd be there for us.
It would work a treat, wouldn't it? It would work a treat. So Pete, how are you looking to play this? You've got the two shorter stacks to your right here.
I mean, well,
just for the people at home, blinds are 15,000, 30,000. So these guys have got about 10 bigs each.
Yeah, I've got 41 bigs. So
what's your thoughts here?
To be honest, I probably want to let the other people take each other out till we get down to about three-handed, and so I'm not going to play. Some players like to play aggressively. I probably like to play passively, and I don't want to lose my chip lead, so I'd rather let other people take the others on. So that's kind of my strategy here. But it's funny, actually, because you probably noticed I took a bit of a break from playing online and playing APAT. And then, obviously, when you confirmed the WCOAP, I obviously got quite enthusiastic about that and quite excited about it. And so I just decided to have a sort of new effort of playing the tournaments in the week and stuff, and just getting practice in, particularly on the PLO8, because that's what I'm going to focus on for England.
You're very quickly going to have got yourself from step 1 up to step 3 on Leaderboard Ladders, and yeah, I'm thinking with this finish here, probably by topping the leaderboard 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
I would fear for you a little bit, because does the Ilfracombe Massive know where you live? Because I genuinely would be concerned. If you get a knock on the door, or you wake, in the morning, there's a horse's head in your bed or anything like that. I just warn you that Tony Ross is not going to take this lightly. This kind of topping the leaderboard thing. He's not going to be happy.
Yeah, no, I've really enjoyed it, actually, because I think you've got a really good mix at the moment. I like the fact that you've got an $11 tournament and a $5 one, so everybody can sort of, if they don't want to play both tournaments. I've had the weirdest week ever. I've cashed in one tournament every day. So I've not cashed twice and then nothing the next day. Every day I've cashed in one tournament.
And actually, I think Graham's cashed in a couple of them when you've cashed as well, isn't he? Yeah. So
yeah.
You both made the final tables. So and I presume you're still, you still chat about poker and
yeah, we chat every day, and we went down to Portsmouth to play one of the 25-25s, and I've been doing pretty well online, and I've been doing amazingly well on the horses. You were talking about the weather earlier, and the strange thing, the flat racing's started now, and all the favourites seem to be winning because the ground's really, really good. So a lot of our customers have been winning lots, decent money, but I've won ridiculous amounts of money in the last 2 weeks on the horses, which is
great,
really good. So I put that aside for Vegas.
So when's your Vegas trip? Oh. When are you off?
Well, it was going to be September, October, but I'm thinking I'm going to move it forward now.
Okay.
So I'm obviously committed to the World Championships, and I'm going to look kind of pretty. I was thinking about playing the Goliath and playing the festival, because they're combining the GKPT and the Goliath.
Is August.
That's August.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was thinking about focusing on that. There's a GUKPT in Reading in July, which obviously I want to play the whole of that. I've taken the week off to play that because, you know, what's the point in travelling to Edinburgh or travelling somewhere else, paying the cost of travel and hotel when I've got it on my doorstep? So
no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But would you do Vegas outside of the World Series if you're looking to move it
100%.
earlier? You still wouldn't look at World Series time.
Yeah, I think that my focus at the moment really is I'm still a little bit uncertain about my job at the moment, what I'm going to do, because things have changed a little bit. I won't go into too much detail on there because I think one of the guys that I work with is probably watching this as well.
The best say nothing then in that case.
Yeah, but basically I want to go to, I'm working at Royal Ascot, which I'm really, really looking forward to.
Do you have to dress up for that, Pete, or can you get away with the baseball cap?
Sorry?
Do you have to dress up for that if you're doing Royal Ascot?
Well, no, we have like special uniform that we have to wear.
Okay.
So yeah, we have a special sort of Betfred uniform for that. So, but I'm really, really looking forward to that. So hopefully I'll be there on Ladies' Day. Be a lot of nice eye candy. Which will be good.
Pete. Honestly.
Hey, that's what they're going to be thinking about you, my friend. Right. And, you know, unfortunately, they're going to be looking for tips, Pete. They're not going to be looking for you. They're going to be looking for tips. So you need to be,
Ukraine,
be very aware, sir.
Ukraine all in here after Stanislav
here we go.
had a decent hand doubled up through Casio.
Yeah, so in answer to your question, I will be going probably to Vegas outside of the World. I can't really go to the World Series because I don't really want to go just to catch the end of it. So I think
we're catching pretty much the last week. I think.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that you're going just afterwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think my sort of goal in life is just to go to Vegas once a year. And I thought it was about a year and a half ago since I went last time. And then I realised that it was actually 2.5 years with lockdown. So just literally lost a year.
Oh, here's a big Casio's all in.
Here we
Andre's
go.
all in as well. Decision for Mr. Wigglesworth.
Yeah, I don't think I got 7-6 offsuit. So
there's priced in. Ace 9 versus Ace Queen. It's the Ace 9 at risk. Well, a couple of queens is going.
Oh, there we go.
Is going to be what Ukraine are after, and I did call it. I said you got to watch out. Here we go. So Casio departs in 5th place, picking up $166, which means the remaining 4 now are all guaranteed. Minimum cash of 216. So and Pete, you've Stanislav's caught you up chip wise, and Petter at the top there's got a decent stack, and of course Andre's now just had pretty much a double up. So they're all kind of closing in on you. I know you said you wanted to watch them all bust each other before you started to make a move, but tricky one now.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, over in the PLO, unfortunately, GMAC was the bubble boy, finishes in 5th place. So he misses out on the cash. So they're down to 4, and actually they're now down to 3 as Hegedus from Hungary has gone out picking up $120. Paul is second. Massive. Maximilian is massive chip leader. He's got 3 times the other 2 stacks combined. So huge chip leader in that, which means it could be over fairly quick there now, as they're all now in the money.
Yeah.
So what's your plan with Vegas then? You're going the week after.
Pretty much go the week after. So after the APAT Worlds, back working for a week, and then or some client work for a few days, and then we fly out the following weekend. I think it's about 9 or 10 days, something like that. So we were kind of slightly scuppered on dates that I could do and then Paul could do, and then when we kind of kept working it all out, we just went, it looks like there's literally 9 days. We just booked some flights for the 9 days that we could do.
Yeah, I know we don't spend a lot of time outside, but that time of year is particularly scorching hot, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Well, I've not. You say you've not been to Vegas for 2.5. I think it's been about 5 years since I've been. A long old time. So but actually, more than that, I'm just looking forward to a holiday. I may not even play that much poker, to be honest. Just the fact that out there, and obviously there'll be people that I know out there, and just having some chill time. So I quite happily go and throw into some sort of $100 daily comms
Yeah,
or something.
yeah. What hotel are you staying in, Lee? Do you have good
We're
facilities?
in the, we're in the Cosmopolitan for
I've never
9 nights. So.
I've never stayed in the Cosmopolitan.
No, we haven't
Nice.
either. So we just managed to get a good deal. Always had it on our kind of list of
Nice. Okay.
just do it to try it out. So
where is it situated, Lee?
So the Cosmopolitan is next door to the Bellagio. It's kind of in between.
Oh,
the
okay.
And the Aria.
Yeah.
Sweet. Lovely spot. Lovely
It's
party.
really,
pretty much just across the road from Paris, where obviously the world, the WSOP is. So
perfect.
Kind of, it's an ideal location. Really.
Would you consider like renting a car or something? I did that the last time Sean and I were over. We took a car and we just toured. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, we were originally planning on doing 2 or 3 nights in LA, and we were going to possibly hire a car and do the Las Vegas to. So we'd literally booked a fly into Las Vegas and then fly out of LA. But then we had to change some plans. So so lots of so many options on what you can do. I mean, I know our first time we went out, Paul did the whole kind of Grand Canyon helicopter thing, and I just held off, hoping that Jen might come out at some point, but that hasn't materialized yet because it's a nice thing to do together. But I think it's take some bits and pieces in. Say, Paul messaged me today about a restaurant he'd seen somewhere that somebody was recommending. And you just got to get these things organised and get out there and see who's out there at the time and make the most of it. So,
I guess that's the point. You've got to organise it a bit because there's so much stuff that you could do, and it's so easy to miss stuff. Because once you get into Vegas, the time just disappears, and I know that for a fact. It just goes.
Well,
like if you're stuck in card rooms,
where you lost an entire day. You weren't
just
even
went.
Drinking.
No. I mean, I was totally compass mentis for the whole thing, apart from the one day we lost. But c'est la vie.
Well, I'm not even sure what's the what are the good shows, what are the good things to see, kind of out there now. We've done a number of things, done a number of the kind of Cirque du Soleil stuff and Le Rêve, and we saw Penn and Teller. So we've seen quite a few of the.
Is the NFL on? Yeah.
So the NFL won't be on, and obviously it'll be right at the end of NBA season as well, I guess. So
ice hockey.
But of course, what you've got out there now, sporting wise, you've got the ice hockey now, you've got the NFL, you've got the and of course you're going to have the Grand Prix as well, Formula One out there as well. I mean, Vegas is becoming just a destination all year round. I mean, I'm kind of nearly getting to the point where I'm going, well, why would you go during WSOP?
It's all about the events, Lee.
Times to be going, isn't there? Really? So I've got a good thing with looking at the rewards flights and stuff, and I did message Paul earlier on and said we can get out to Vegas for a week over Christmas if you fancy it. Good deal on the flights if you want to.
It's just
going.
Hold for a week or two, Lee. You get the Consumer Electronics Show. That is a sight to behold. Yeah. I tell you,
where's that?
That is huge.
In the convention center, Des.
Yeah. To be honest, it's a bit all over the place. It is huge, absolutely huge, but primarily in the convention center. Yeah.
So, question in the chat from Mr. Lawler. So, Pete, have you played any of the Scoop events this year on Stars?
No, to be honest, I haven't. But is that Simon Lawler? Did you say?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
He'll be pleased with one of my bets because I bet on Nottingham Forest to get promoted and Derby to get relegated. And Des will like another one as well because I bet on Liverpool to win the Premiership and Everton to get relegated. But that was
well. We're not sure that's coming in, Pete, but it may be
close miss in both.
Close miss, I feel.
It was a good one.
Definitely, also, I like the creativity.
Yeah, Liverpool to win all four trophies as well.
What did you get?
You bet that at the start of the season?
Sorry?
When did you put the 4 trophy bet on?
Well, after they won the first cup.
What were they offering odds then?
It was only 9-2 to be honest, which isn't great.
Really?
Shitting me, that's terrible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lucky.
That's insane.
Oh no, sorry, tell a lie. That's 2 out of 3.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't
to win 2 out of 3 of the remaining.
Yeah.
I think that was a bet I might have mentioned to you, Des, and said that didn't look an unreasonable stab. 2 out of the 3.
Still a bit tight though. I mean, if you're talking about back in March, I mean that's still a bit tight, isn't it? Under 5-1.
Yeah.
Especially at that point, City was still absolutely storming.
Yeah, they looked. Yeah. And the Champions League is so unpredictable.
Yeah.
But we were blessed with a fortunate draw.
Oh,
I'd
what a
have won that.
hand. Andre from the Ukraine.
My
Wow.
pair of
King
fives would
Deuce
have won that.
of clubs.
He goes
against
chip leader.
Petters,
Unbelievable.
clubs. And Ukraine go.
It's
Yeah,
the
the
UK
public
against
vote.
the Ukraine. I've got a
Public
feeling I'm going
vote
to come
is in,
second.
and Ukraine go top. This all feels like Eurovision last night, all over again, but at a poker table, definitely. And Petters all in next hand, and Stanislav makes the call with 9-4 off. I'm trying to think how much it was to make the call, but
It was only like
with
two
his stack
big.
size. That's super.
No, I think he's got to make that call. It's only 2 big blinds.
Really, was it only 2? Was it okay? Fair enough.
Yeah,
that's fair enough. So we are on the money bubble in the turbo knockout for the night. Stuart Locke is in there. Stefan Strofek as well. Stefan again, regular player. Finished 3rd in the deep stack earlier on tonight as well. John Lawrence is in there as well. David Hefner from Sweden. So good luck to all of you guys in that one. We're
Leigh.
heads up in the PLO. England skipper Pete's skipper, Mr. Haycock, had a cracking run in both of these comps last week. And was actually doing okay in the No Limit Hold'em earlier on tonight as well. He finishes 3rd in the PLO tonight, picking up $170. So it's Maximilian Schneider against Andre Lima from Luxembourg. And actually, Andre's closed that gap down now, so it's only about a 2-1 chip lead, if that. So we'll keep an eye on that.
Leigh, going back to Ukraine, and you mentioned Sweden, what do you think? So Sweden and Finland apparently both about to apply for NATO membership. It can't have been what Putin set out to achieve when he started the madness in Ukraine.
No, and he was using NATO as the one of the driving forces as to why he felt the need to invade in the first place. It's interesting that that both those countries have decided that this is the trigger to make them go, well, actually we think we're stronger together, and signing up themselves. This is not a quick process, but it certainly isn't what I think Putin was hoping was going to happen. Although he keeps moving up and down, because I see troops have moved around again in Ukraine over the last sort of 24, 48 hours, and he decided to just carry on firing rockets in after they won the Eurovision last night. He couldn't even give them give them overnight just to kind of enjoy that before deciding to carry on now.
I saw some images today that suggested they were writing Eurovision related rhetoric on rockets and firing them across the border.
Wow.
I mean, it wasn't a great song, but I can go that far.
Yeah, it seems a bit much, doesn't it? But it certainly isn't going to be what he was expecting, and it certainly is going to be, the kind of political landscape is just continually changing. Whether you're looking at the kind of the global position, or whether even you're looking at you could just even look at the UK position. We live in interesting times, don't we? Certainly, I know we've been saying that for a fair few years now. We've been saying that ever since Trump was in the White House, that it's interesting times. But it certainly isn't stopping at the moment, is it?
There is there's a wonderful documentary on I think it's Netflix, basically completely focused in on the 6th of January Capitol riots, call them what you will, with deep sort of engagement from the Proud Boys and stuff like that. So there's a lot of content that hasn't been seen before. Super interesting, very scary, the way that all went down.
Yeah. Talking about a documentary on a completely different subject, but I sat and watched the Gaza documentary that the BBC did, the 2-part.
Did you?
Today. Oh, well, actually, I watched one yesterday and one today. Fascinating. Hadn't kind of necessarily fully realised quite how much the papers played in kind of his mental well-being and mindset, and that certainly there was kind of content and stuff there that I'd not seen before or was aware of, and obviously Rebecca Brooks
Use the World, right?
Her involvement and how it basically made her career, or one of the stories that made her career, because she kind of what she did, and she's always in the background of a lot of these things that were going on. Yeah, just very sad, actually.
Yeah, well, I don't have too many cool stories coming out of my time at Sky in relation to like football celebs or anything like that. But I used to very regularly bring some of my suppliers into Soccer AM on a Saturday morning, and they'd love to come in. You know, they might bring their kids or whatever, and they'd stand on the side of the set. They'd watch a bit of Soccer AM. I'd give them a little tour of Sky. They'd go into the newsroom and stuff like that. And they used to always really enjoy that because it was quite the unusual thing. And you know, my brother's worked in the States for many, many years, and he visited one week, and I brought him in on the Saturday morning. And he wasn't a football guy; he wasn't into football at all. But nonetheless, he was always interested in media and stuff. So he thought that was really interesting. You know, he sat in the green room at one point, which was no more than a very simple office off of the set. There was nothing green in there at all. But I went into the room a little while after the show had started, only to find him and Paul Gascoigne, the only two people in there. They were both smoking cigarettes into a bin. And this was, I suppose this would have been, I'm going to say the early 2000s, maybe 03, 04, something like that. And no fire alarms or anything like that, but they were both smoking cigarettes into the bin, having a bit of a laugh. And I said to my brother afterwards, do you know who he was? No idea. No idea. I didn't know him from Adam. Didn't know him at all. It was hilarious.
He lives, Gazza lives down our way now.
Does he?
Lives down on the south coast and does a lot of fishing in Hampshire. And
has he settled down a bit?
He's on his own. I know that.
Because you don't hear of him at all now.
I think health wise, I think he's probably had no real options. So he's just looking for a bit of peace and quiet. I think
magnificent
so he
footballer.
Doesn't do anything media wise or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and he looks far older than he actually is.
Yeah.
Which
shame.
Is quite a sad thing as well, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, he did abuse himself though over a long period of time. You know, a lot of drink.
Well, and sadly, I mean, say the documentary was interesting because, say, it's eye opener to even people that were kind of there. He didn't really have an agent. He had kind of business advisors, and they were saying, well, we're keeping all of his business stuff up. You know, they were the first to admit that actually nobody was looking after his welfare and actually how he was handling himself. And it's
very sad, very sad. Listen, while I remember it, Leigh, and this bit's important, we were talking about the World Series of Poker, Vegas, etc. a few minutes ago.
This is what we were going to talk. We said we'll talk about this straight away. Yeah.
Shit. I had a wee message from Carl, Captain Carl, as I like to call him, just before we started, saying, "Hey, boss." He calls me boss. Oh, it's so funny. Can you mention the Fantasy World Series of Poker competition that we put on? We being Carl and John every year. So I think he's dropped a link into the APAT Facebook group. Please click on it, pay a few quid, play along. You get to pick a team of, I think it's 10
it's
of your favorite players.
Any 10 players you want to go for. Pete, if you were picking, who would your top three be?
Yeah.
If you're picking for the World Series. Give us your top three picks if you're picking for the fantasy.
I think you mentioned it last week actually, but I'd probably go with Stephen Chidwick. But like you said, I don't know whether he's playing the volume or whether he's playing just the bigger tournaments. But I just like the way he plays, just like his style. And
very calm, isn't he?
Yeah, obviously Daniel Negreanu you can't discount either, really.
Yeah.
So, but you need to, the thing is, I did play that with the guys before, and you need to do quite a lot of research and just find out who's likely to play.
Yeah, I mean, you can have you can have a stab at it if you want to, and pick, and treat it as a kind of. I'll pick the ones I think, and you might find that you get somebody that has some run good in it. But if you can get any sort of glean information as to who's likely to have a serious punt at the, I mean, I don't know how many your top players will play. How many events are there in the series?
But
it's going to be 88. 88 live ones, I think.
I don't know how many. What the maximum? What can a player even play? I mean, is it sent to be something like half of them? Is 40 or 50 someone that's done a good schedule? Or is that too many again? Because obviously a number of them will overlap, and if you run deep in one, you won't be able to play another. So I mean, is maybe 40 is too much? Maybe anyone that's doing
What
25, 30 maybe does well.
What I would be doing, Lee, if I was playing it this season, I would be going to the Hendon Mob, and I would probably look over the last, obviously we had last season, but last season was a bit of a funny one. I would maybe go back 2 or 3 seasons. I would look at the number of caches in the one just before we had the whole pandemic thing. You know, the ladder for number of caches, and I might pick my top 10 based on 7 or 8 randoms there, and then weigh them down with an Agranu and maybe a Ferguson, because he tends to do particularly well when he turns up. And then you got your team of 10, and it just adds a lot of impetus, a lot of engagement as these results come in, because John does a fantastic job of writing up the results and showing updated leaderboards for players in the fantasy competition on a daily basis. So it's definitely, it adds some flavor to following the World Series of Poker.
Yeah, it sure does. And obviously they've got they've got a lot of the live streams and stuff on Poker Go again this year. Although I know that everyone was up in arms at the ladies tournament. His final table was
I mean the last one that I put a team into, I chose Chino Ream.
Yeah.
Because Chino Ream had been doing really, really well, and I think he'd won the PCA or one of the ones down in the Bahamas, and so I thought, he's really, really in good form, and he'd had another big result as well. So I thought he must be playing the World Series, and he didn't. He only played like a couple of tournaments, I think. So
he had some problems at some point, didn't he?
I think, he's always had a
few off table issues, shall we say?
Well, what I would say to anyone that's picking. Pete's already said he's not going for the World Series, so don't bother with Pete.
No, actually,
the last time Des was in Vegas, he probably was at the final table, but he certainly wasn't playing. That is
very true.
And I've already made it quite clear that I'm just going for a holiday. So so basically, don't bet on us. Yeah, don't pick us.
Listen, talking about lost causes, Lee, Stuart Anthony Ward has just joined us. Evening, Stu.
Hope you're doing well, Mr.
Who have Borough got in the playoffs, Lee? Who have Borough got in the playoffs?
It escapes me. Oh, bloody hell. Damn. I think we got thunder and lightning here.
Oh, I thought you were looking for the Borough draw there for a moment.
Literally, I think
really?
I think we got thunderstorms down south. Yeah.
Wow.
How exciting! Yeah, but Borough were hoping that the championship were going to embrace the National League playoffs, where they go down 6 teams and give them a chance, but no, they're not going with that. I saw Stockport got promoted today, which means Wrexham will have to try and with their Hollywood owners and have to try and make it through.
I think they might
the playoffs. So
have the winner of Grimsby and one other in the semi-finals.
Yeah. So so it's a bit more complicated down that way, but be interesting to see. Hopefully Wrexham will get up as well back into the Football League. So Stockport with 10 years since they lost their league status. It's taken them 10 years to turn it around and get back. So
quite a celebration for them.
Yeah, it is what can happen. Pete, what's gone on here? I mean, you were coasting as chip leader, and now you're just back in the pack. I mean, you're pretty much Mr. Average.
That's it. I'm all in now. Yeah. You tilted me.
Come on, Pete.
Kings.
No.
What? You're not going to help me. What? That's not there either.
I'll hit me ace. That's good.
Oh dear. It's
bloody hell. What happened, Lee?
It's all gone space, man.
Ace 5?
What was the ace 5 thinking there, Pete? Talk us through that.
Well, I've only got I think at the time I had about 16 big blinds or similar. So I'm just trying to put pressure on them, really.
Okay. And just you just unfortunate timing ran into
kings. That's just unfortunate. An ace 3-handed is pretty.
Yeah, we're liking that.
Hand. Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah.
Oh, we've had a double here, Lee. We're back.
What's your focus here when so you've got locked up $300 here, but there's 746 up tops, 465 for second. Is your focus just on winning it? Really, once you've locked up a decent cash, is that really where your focus goes?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, obviously now my stack's been damaged, but if I can get a double up, I'm back to level with the other guys. So I only need to get one more decent decent hand. But the problem is, because the blinds are so big, I've got 10 big blinds now, or less, 7.5 actually.
Yeah.
Then you can't just sort of keep folding. So you have to have a certain range of cards that you're going to get your chips in with. Three-handed, Queen 9's good, King 10. So, those are the kind of hands you're looking for. Yeah. I mean, the Ace 4 is probably a little bit loose, but I'm unlucky to run into somebody with a hand.
Yeah,
and I can always spike the Ace.
Yeah, so players are on a break as we are 5 to the hour, and I can confirm that the PLO has just concluded as well. Andre Lima from Luxembourg finishes in second place, and which means Maximilian Schneider from Germany picks up the win and picks up $450. Slightly overlaid tonight, that PLO. So those that did cash, which was Maximilian, Andre, Paul Haycock we mentioned, and Hegedus from Hungary, have all got a little bit of extra value
nice.
That PLO tonight, so it was well worth playing.
It sounds to me as if Hegedus has come straight out of the latest Harry Potter book. I have to say,
Hegedus, yeah,
straight. The master of the dark arts. I would have thought. There are some comments coming from the chat box. One Mr. Ward comes back with, "Look, right. After Warnock wasted half our season, we did okay. Stand more choice of winning our league next season than Liverpool or United do after City signed Haaland." Quite probably correct. Gaz is there, our own Gaz. This is our own Gaz, not the
mate.
Gaz on the South Coast. Mr. Howard, look at all those Poker for Dummy books he has behind him. What are you trying to say, Gaz? Come out and tell him. What are you trying to say? Mr. Bailey is there from the Irish Baileys. He says, "Hi guys, can you give a shout out for Cody Wagner for his win in the Scoop 5 card PLO for $9,784 American dollars? Well done, Cody Wagner. Very nice.
Superb, Cody. That is a cracking performance. That is
very nice.
Yeah, very nice indeed.
Mr. Haycock, England's longest serving captain, undefeated, Lee, undefeated as England captain thus far.
It's an impressive record, isn't it, really?
I mean, it's almost like United's last week. In any event, Paul did say Pete confirmed playing for the 08 in the team event. I might be a little bit of rubbing going on there. I'm not entirely sure. And I'm pleased to see that the captain has shown his face. Carl is in the chat box. He's arrived magnetically as we were talking about his little competition, the Fantasy World Series of Poker competition. Remember, guys, click the link, go and play. Add a bit of color to your World Series of Poker.
There's also there is a group on Facebook as well. So if you come for that, if you put in Fantasy WSOP and APAT in there in the search in Facebook, you will find it easily enough. And there's always good banter in there, and it's actually quite a good way of finding out what's going on with the World Series.
It is really good, and I think John's input and the results that he puts up are
very good, aren't they? Yeah,
pretty amazing.
So just a quick summary where we're at tonight. We are still three-handed in the No Limit Hold'em main event. Our short stack is sadly now Mr. Peter Wigglesworth, who is our guest.
Sadly, I'm going to get a double up.
Yeah, double up, and he's very much back in the game. He's up against Stanislav Bok from the Czech Republic, and obviously everyone's favourite to win this, Andrei Kovalchuk from the Ukraine. So that's just waiting to come back in about another minute, and they'll be back from the break. PLO's finished. Turbo knockout. As the Lightning is getting quite aggressive down here.
Dear,
have you seen the details of that tournament in the first week of June at Dusk Till Dawn?
Which one is that?
The Mystery Bounty.
Oh, the Mystery Bounty that's being sponsored by LuxonPay. Yes.
Yeah.
First time they've done a Mystery Bounty, so it looks quite interesting, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's £10,000 to for two of the bounties. If you make day 2, you get a bounty, and you get between £600 and £10,000, which would be nice.
Ooh, nice.
So it's basically it's an opportunity. Obviously, some of the prize pool will get paid out as a normal tournament would, but basically, once you're in the money, or is it day 2 or in the money, Pete? Well, I think day 2.
No, you have to make. Yeah, I think you have to make day 2, and if you knock a player out on day 2,
then it
does change.
Effectively, get an envelope.
You pick an envelope, and it's going to be a minimum of 600 because the buy-in's 340, I think.
Yeah.
So it's quite an expensive one, and you get a lot of players who will be, having multiple bullets. So I think it will make the guarantees 100K, but I think it will make more than that.
Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest.
Interesting to look.
It does. I saw the.
Is that the bank holiday weekend, guys?
Might well.
Yeah,
be,
I think
could
it's
be the
the
Jubilee,
Saturday
could be
after
the double
Jubilee.
Jubilee one. It could be. Yeah, I saw that the Party Poker Championship UK one. Yeah, they ended up hitting the guarantee the other week. Looked a little bit as if they weren't going to get there, but then across the weekend, live at dusk till dawn, it looks like everybody turned up, and I would imagine every single seat in the place was full. So they managed to get to the 500,000, which is superb. Pete's all in. Stanislav's going to make the call. Not got live cards, Pete.
Oh,
Didn't need a
dear.
queen, but he hits a queen.
Oh!
He's avoided a 10 and an ace, and he does. And double up for Mr. Wigglesworth.
Wow.
That's how to do it, folks.
Wow.
You're watching that. You see all you see
play
that?
bad, get lucky.
That was
Yeah.
how you do it. Yeah.
Nice hold, Pete. There, good work, sir. Stanislav's flag there, Leigh. What is that? The flag of
Czech Republic, I think.
Czech Republic.
I think so. Yeah.
Very good.
That was a classic example of a stop and go.
I mean, you're getting it in with queen. You don't mind it because you're just hoping that you've got 2 live cards, and when you see only 1 live card, you're thinking, oh well, it's.
They're pretty disappointed to see I was dominated, to be honest, but.
Yeah, so Pete's back down to about 10 bigs now. But to be fair, both of the other 2 have only got 20 themselves. So really,
so if I manage to get double up, I just reverse rolls with the other person. So that's all I'm really looking for. I need to either get it in bad and get lucky, or get it in with a good hand hold. It's much more fun to get it in bad. Though.
Seems to be working well, so maybe go with
more
that.
fun as well.
Yeah,
you feel much better about it.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Oh, this definitely hits Pete's range.
I've hit this. I have hit this actually.
It's got you wrote all over there, Pete. I have to say.
You can probably tell us, because I can't believe for 1 second Stanislav is actually tuned in. Well, he might well be tuned into the APAT show on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
Stanislav, if you're out there, do give a mention in the chat.
I've got bottom pair, so I'm going to let him have it.
Probably for the best.
Yeah.
To be, I mean, how low do you go with this, Pete, before it becomes a case of it's a shove or fold? I mean, are you there now, pretty much?
Yeah, more or less. If I get a hand, if it's an open hand in that instance, I probably would have shoved. Had Queen 5. I've got 8-2 now, so that's obviously a no-no because I'm likely to get called. So I have to have a hand that's going to at least have some equity. So now I'm getting quite low, and I've got a pretty crap hand 5-3, so I've got to let that go.
Get in. Oh, Des, he had 5-3 there.
It's good hand that. It's good hand that, Leigh.
They're connecting hands.
It's a proper gutter that.
Yeah.
This is probably the best hand I've seen for ages, and
here we go.
I'm probably going to get called.
He's got to get called.
Ace 9 of clubs, but I wouldn't have hit the flop.
Wow.
So yeah, it's just a question of either shove or fold. Well, obviously there's no raise fold in here. I've got King Jack now.
But this is good. King Jack's going to be good, isn't it? Whatever Stanislav does, you're going to be.
Yeah, I'm just going to shove let him.
This, aren't you? Yeah.
He's probably going to fold pre-flop. He might want to take me on.
Put a bounty on Pete's head. Make the call. Make the call. No, he's not.
It came ace, 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 queen. So I hit all around it. My king was probably good in that instance. Right, so this one's a little bit risky, so I'm just going to step aside this one. 9-4 offsuit.
I mean, you're hoping, I suppose, in a way, if they could both actually, because they're actually quite shallow themselves. I mean, if they could manage to somehow, one of them knock the other out, and all of a sudden your head's up, another 160 quid, $160 in the, guaranteed, and then see what you can do heads up. Although you would be a heavy short stack, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just quite pleased that I've cashed literally every day this week. So that's really
it's a great run.
My main achievement this week, and I'll be trying my best to play as much as I can next week as well.
Well, you're going to be up to step 3, Pete. I mean, you don't want to be going back down the ladder.
No, I won't be going down.
All the effort to get to get up to the dizzy heights of step 3.
Yeah, it does get a bit frustrating if you go backwards.
Yeah, but it has to happen. I mean, that's kind of the idea. I mean, I still say the guys that have been consistently up at step, they've got themselves a step 5 and have managed to stay there for week after week. I mean, Tony Tony Ross did sort of 10 weeks in a row, I think, of keeping in the top 20.
Oh, look at that.
It's just incredible.
I've got out.
But you've got options.
Oh, hello.
We have options, but it's not going to be there.
Ah.
Well, you can't complain with that.
That's
Pete.
pretty sick, though, isn't it?
Yeah, picks up $300 for a third place finish, Pete. That's a superb effort.
Nice play, Pete.
Very,
Great
very
result.
well done indeed.
Yeah, I'm pleased with that.
And what I will say is I'm pretty sure that is going to cement your top finish in the leaderboard ladders for the week, which means it's back. That'll
Yeah,
be
I know
back
Aaron
to
was
back
doing
first. So
Aaron was doing pretty well, wasn't he? Aaron Swaziland, I think
he was, but I don't think I've typed his name in tonight as having cashed. Yeah. So I think pretty much that's going to be means you're going to be guaranteed.
Well, I can give you my undivided attention now.
Look at that. So, Pete, what's in your bookcase? Come on.
Well, actually, I share a room, a house with a friend of mine who's he's a language teacher, so he teaches German, French, and Spanish, and a little bit of Japanese as well.
Wow.
So
okay.
Very intelligent guy, and I'm pretty lucky to be here, really. So I'm quite happy.
That sounds like a good spot. Good spot.
Yeah.
Ohio gozaimasu.
Yeah. No, he's a really good guy, and like today, I asked him if I've used his laptop to make sure I was able to get linked up with you guys. So I made him a meal and stuff. So
good man. Good man.
Yeah, I was disappointed that Simon didn't get on. Simon Allen.
Yeah, unfortunately couldn't get it worked out tonight. But another time.
Simon, yeah, he's going to. Simon's going to. I think he's got plans next week, but then hopefully, yeah, he's maybe going to try and get on in a couple of weeks' time, and we'll have a catch up with Simon. It'd be good to find out what's been going on, what he's up to poker wise. As we've got an all in the call here, so it's the ace 6 that's at risk, and it looks like double up for Ukraine.
Come on, Ukraine!
Now.
I'm cheering on the Ukraine guy now.
This literally could be. Honestly, if you didn't watch Eurovision last night, this is pretty much what happened.
You got a last minute vote.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, going back to the World Championships, as I say, I'm really, really looking forward to that. I've really enjoyed the team one up at Dustall, and that was just
awesome result.
Yeah, it was just
awesome
an amazing
result.
weekend. It was just so good to be back playing live poker, and as I say, bumping into all the people that you'd be playing against online and stuff. So it just felt really good.
Does it feel, Pete? Because obviously you like playing, say, a lot of the live events in the UK. Do you feel like we're kind of back to some sort of normality pre-lockdown?
I think if anything, the numbers. If anything, the numbers are probably even exaggerated because people have been so frustrated. Oh, what? Did he win that? Oh, he didn't win that. It wasn't all in. Yeah, so no, I just think you look at all the GUKPT, all the figures that they're getting record numbers. And, once D2D get their, and Party Poker get their tournaments all sorted, they're going to get ridiculous numbers there as well.
Well, I saw a post from Rob saying that they've got a major festival booked pretty much every month until early 2023.
Right.
Now, obviously the first one now is is what we're just talking about, the mystery bounty. And obviously the next one is our event with our World Championship of Amateur Poker. So but yeah, he seemed confident on Twitter that was the case, which is amazing if they're back doing that, and they've therefore got the dealers now sorted and everything.
Yeah, I think the thing I like about D2D is they don't tend to try and compete with the GUKPT. They look at the dates the GUKPT put out, and they tend to put their tournaments around it. So, which I think is a good thing, because if you had competing tournaments, it's not going to work. And so, they are pretty sensible in terms of that.
Wouldn't it be great if the poker industry could do more of that collaborative work, and just to go, well, actually, let's just do what's good for poker and not worry too much about anything else, because then everybody benefits.
Yeah. Yep. No, definitely.
Which would be a good thing. Well, Andre's taking the chip lead here now and fires a little bet in on this.
There's only one winner in this game.
Yeah, there is, isn't there? Really?
Yeah.
Maybe not. Oh, hello. We've gone to a
Hello.
river.
Oh, there you go. His king's good. He's definitely he's got him on the run now. 2-1 chip lead.
Yeah, he's in good
That's
shape.
slightly
You've
more,
ended up with 7 caches, and as you mentioned, Pete, that's one. Actually, ended up as 1 a day, which is superb. I think 7 might tie the record. I'm pretty sure Tony Ross has done 7 caches in a week. He might have done 8, but I know he's definitely done 7. So, but
Yeah.
so that's pretty impressive. Bear in mind that we're 16 tournaments in the week for Leaderboard Ladders. So to be cashing in 7 of 16 in a week, when what your average, even the good players are cashing in 15% of the tournaments they play.
Yeah.
Maybe that's probably about right, isn't it? I would say.
That's pretty insane.
So to be doing the level that you've done there this week is superb.
Oh, cheers. Thank you. Yeah, I've actually changed my strategy a little bit because I used to sort of raise and just play standard poker really in the online tournaments, but I'm sort of limping quite a lot because the people that you play against can't help like raise you, and so I just limp with a big hand. It's quite basic strategy. Let them raise and then just shove it all in. And the amount of times I get called when I've got like a premium hand, and you just got to hope your hand holds. And if it does, you get chipped up pretty early, and it's been working for me. So I'm working on that strategy.
Well, Des, get the champagne on ice because I don't think the results of the remaining 2 that are playing, they're both heads up at the moment. We're watching the No Limit Hold'em final table, but also the Turbo Knockout is heads up as well. Jan Kutten from the Czech Republic up against Stuart Locke from the UK, so keeping an eye on that one as well. But Pete is going to be top of the shop for the week.
Nice.
He's going to pick up 3 tickets. He's only on step 2 though, Des. It's just
yes.
Second place is going to be Aaron. Didn't add to his points tonight, but he's going to finish with 5 caches for the week. Aaron, very well.
Good job, Aaron.
So
well done.
He's a step 3, so he's going to pick up 2 lots of $22 tickets.
Yep.
Everybody else in the top 20, Des, a step 1.
Really?
Wow.
Everybody else in the top 20 is step 1.
Wow.
But
Okay.
I'll tell you what we're going to do as well, because in 21st place is our very own Tony G. Yeah, APAT's own, the proper Tony G. Yeah, Tony's had a couple of caches this week, but has finished in 21st, and he's actually been beaten by 7 players that only cashed once. So I'm gonna sort some tickets out for 21st this week as well. So Tony, will sort you out some tickets for finishing 21st. And
did Mr. Pound get in top 20?
I
know he only cashed once, but
no,
he
missed
might.
out. No,
No, he missed out.
finished in 20. He had 2 caches for the week actually.
Did
Finished
he?
in 20. Finished in 26th.
Yeah.
Did Stuart Locke make it? At least Stuart's in the chat box. You're watching
Stuart's
me
19th.
too.
Stuart's
Nice,
19th at the moment.
nice.
So although
Good job, Stuart.
He is heads up in the Turbo Knockout tonight. So say currently he's not quite a 2-1 dog, but he's a little bit behind Jan in that one.
You're a little unlucky here, Stuart, in that generally we'd have the turbo up on screen once the main finishes, but it looks like you're both heads up at the same time. So let's see whether the main finishes, and we'll get you guys up.
I can just quickly show you. That's the
can I ask you a question?
That's the turbo.
Of course you can,
Pete. At the moment, there you can
Right.
see that on the screen.
What was your take on the result today for Manchester City? And do you think
I was delighted, absolutely delighted with it.
do you think
Because
it's
going
got a
in,
chance?
I think it's slim, but yeah. I mean, between no chance and a chance, we're still in the chance saloon.
Yeah.
Nicely put. So that's Stuart's table up on screen. So ignore the lobby bits down the bottom. I've just quickly flipped the screen. So Stuart's decision there. He's all in. Jan's all in. Who he's playing against. I'll keep an eye on the other one as well, and I'll flick back if there's any action on either.
Oh, we get the call.
Ace 9 against Ace 8. He's got the spades though. Spades option. Spades are an 8. Not going to be. And well, there you go. The minute we flick to Stuart's table, bang. That's that, unfortunately.
Stuart just added in the chat box before we saw his hand. He said, "Gutted, wants to be an APAT star." You're there. You're there.
That was it.
You're there. A little unlucky, but that is the APAT show Bach, I'm afraid. Being a star here comes with a cost.
Yes, It certainly does. And unfortunately, I think the second place finish might mean Stuart just misses out on the on the top 20 now. Unfortunately, yeah, he's just going to miss out. Needed the win there to actually get in the top 20.
Unlucky.
So he will just miss out, but can always have another go next week, because Leaderboard Ladders starts all over again on Monday. Another 16 tournaments for next week. So we do it all again.
I'll tell you, the Oracle says incredible Bach. Well, it's not the first one. I mean, we've gotten a name for Baching people. We take certain pride in it. And Stuart, unfortunately, just another victim. Young Mr. Smith says 90th minute, Gerard gets his kit on, late sub, and scores the winner for Villa. So the only thing that we know there is that young Mr. Smith has been on the beer today and tonight, and he's suitably stupid.
But there's so many different ways that next Sunday could go. Whether it's top of the table or relegation, it's genuinely going to be an exciting, because obviously everyone's kicking off at the same time. So it's going to be
fun. It's always fun.
Sometimes it can be a case of it's already done and decided, and the relegation teams are already done. I think last season was there anything to decide on the last day last season? It was all done.
No, it was a bit of a disastrous one.
Yeah,
a Champions League was probably still up for.
Whereas this now on Sunday, whatever happens in the midweek games,
chunk of
I
stuff.
Think it's going to be
ongoing.
It still can. Anything could happen. We could be getting the old Aguero kind of moment, which would just be
Ings. As somebody said today, I can't wait for the Ings, and then they show the scoreline: Villa 1, City 7. Listen, Leigh, I can't believe this. Stuart said, look, I don't play that often, so fair enough. I don't even know what the top 20 means. Leigh, what does the top 20 mean? And free cash.
So basically, so we run a promo every week called Leaderboard Ladders, and if you play in an APAT event during the week and you cash, you get some points. Points mean prizes. If you finish in the top 20 on the leaderboard at the end of any given week, you get some added value tickets, basically. And it depends on what step on the ladder you're on. Everybody starts on step 1, and you get a $5.50 ticket if you're in the top 20. If you're in the top 20, we move you up a step for the following week. So then you're playing for $11 tickets, and then it goes to $22 tickets and $33 tickets. And the step 5, the top one you can be on, is $55 tickets. Whilst you're in the top 20,
Leigh,
we're all over. Aces.
It's done.
Ukraine have been done by the Czech Republic, unfortunately. So well played to Stanislav. So yes, basically, if you're in the top 20, you move up a step. If you're out of the top 20, you just drop back down one step. The added bonus is, as well as getting one, you get a ticket if you're in the top 20. If you're in the top 5, well, we double the number of tickets you get. So you'll get 2 tickets. If you're Pete Wigglesworth for the past 2 weeks, guest on the show tonight, who's topped the leaderboard for the last 2 weeks, we triple the tickets. So you pick up 3. So last week, Pete picked up 3 $5.50 tickets. This week, he's going to pick up 3 $11 tickets. And next week, he's playing for $22 tickets if he can get in the top 20. Simple as that. Play as much or as little as you can. As Pete mentioned earlier on, we've slightly tweaked the structure again a couple of weeks back. So the 7 o'clock comp is $11. The 8 o'clock comp is a $5.50. And then we have an extra couple on a Sunday night. That's one at 5 o'clock and one at 9 o'clock. So all good to go. Exactly. Stuart summed it up beautifully because he obviously ruined the commentary on the final. Basically, you're saying play more APAT events and play them well. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
There you go.
Actually, I'm just going to write that down for when somebody asks next time. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, well, there you go. Well, listen, with that 4-minute advertisement, we're going to leave you for tonight. It only goes to say a big thank you to Mr. Wigglesworth, right? Star of the night. Went very, very deep. Last 3 in the main. And, of course, winning the leaderboard for the week. Well done, Pete. Thank you for joining us.
Cheers.
To you, Mr. Wilshire, anything else to add before we cut this one?
No, we are good. We'll be back again next week, and Leaderboard Ladders starts all over again tomorrow night.
Some of us have a couple of tickets in the cop for Liverpool's final match of the season, which is on Sunday, Leigh. 4 p.m. kickoff. So I can call in from the car.
I will be here celebrating Man United's Europa League conference place for next season. So I'm still running the show because Des is still technically impaired. I think is the way
we'll talk about that next week, Lee.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that could be funny, or
Well,
the week
worse,
after, even better.
If Des is still up or still in the cop doing whatever on Sunday, depending on what's happened, I will find a co-host if I need to for next Sunday, and we will do a show. That won't be a problem.
Fantastic. Thank you, Lee. And thanks, of course, to all of you guys who've been playing this week. And girls, of course. Good luck next week. It all starts again tomorrow evening, same time, same place. And as Lee said, he will be hosting next Sunday night, and we'll see who we can get to star alongside him. But until then, good night, guys. Have a great week.